To transform this, Max uses the typical QWERTY keyboard. It doesn't matter if you have a German keyboard, it anyway works. So as you saw already, Q has been used for isolating Alt Q. Also, if I just press Q, let's say I'm in move now. Okay, if I just press Q, just for selecting. Okay, so W is for moving, E for rotating, and R for scaling. If I stand on one of the axes, you see that it goes yellow. That means it's locked in that axis. Also, if I stand on one of these, let's zoom in. If I stay on one of these little squares, then it locks on that plane. Okay, the same goes for example, a scale. If I stand here, it's just going to scale in that direction. Or if I'm in the middle, then in every direction, of course. Now, if I'm on any of these transformations, whether it's move, scale, or rotate, and I click on them, right click, then I have a much more precise transformation. This could be very useful when you are dealing with architecture and product design. Maybe it's not necessary to be that precise for a character, but it's there for you if you need it. Okay, the same if I'm going to rotate or scale. Another very useful thing that we see up here is the reference coordinate system. Right now, if I select all of them and I am rotating, it's going to rotate it over my view. But if I'm on local, it's going to rotate under local gizmo. The same if I would actually have parents. In this case, it doesn't really matter. But in the future, you already know it's going to be here. I could also right now go to take all of them and zero the rotation out. Now, one last thing, I'm going to turn on the grid now to show you the snaps. The snaps are up here. We have a snap toggle for the angle. If I right click on that, I have the radius of the angle. So for example, right now, if I want to rotate, it's snapping every 5 degrees. Okay? The other snap, it's here. If I click and go down, it's 3 dimensions, 2.5 and 2. Let's go to 3 dimensions. Okay, I can toggle this on and off with S. Let's move it. So right now, by default, it's taking me to the grid points. This is because it's set for the grid by default. So by right-clicking on it, I can say, okay, I also want the endpoint. Let's say I want to keep the grid. So I take the endpoint of my, let's go and see, the endpoint of my spindle, move it here. So it works pretty good here in 3 dimensions. What happens if I go in the top view? Okay. It works because I'm in 3 dimensions, but it's more useful to be in 2.5. That way we are sure it's not going to snap to something on the Z axis. You can see here that I have the Y and X. So in Max, the Z axis is the height. Let's go over another important thing when it comes to moving or rotating, and it's our pivot. This is one that I find a bit annoying compared to other softwares. Where do I change my pivot point? In this case, this pivot point is already changed. Okay, let's take out the grid again. Oh, just keep it for reference. The pivot point, you can change it here in affect pivot only. Okay, and now you see that the gizmo actually changed. Now I'm changing the pivot. I'm going to keep it out because of something that I want to show you later. Okay, but so you know now where it is. It's in this icon, affect pivot, and you have to unselect it if you want to affect the object again.